People always assume I appeared one day, as if I woke up laughing, painted my face, and decided to become a problem. That's comforting, because if I'm an accident, then nothing I say has to matter. The truth is much simpler. I paid attention, long before the mask, long before Arkham, long before anyone thought my voice was dangerous. I worked with data, reports, financial records, psychological evaluations, patterns. I wasn't looking for chaos. I was looking for consistency. And everywhere I looked, I found the same shape. Gotham bleeding at the bottom, wealth calcifying at the top, and a narrative in the middle to make it feel heroic. Then you arrived, a traumatized boy who grew into a billionaire and mistook endurance for insight. You didn't wear the mask to scare criminals, you wore it to simplify the world. Because a world divided into good and evil is easier than a world divided into cause and effect. Every night you went out, the city exhaled. Someone else is handling it. Someone else is absorbing it. Someone else is paying the price so we don't have to. That someone was you. You became relief, a coping mechanism wrapped in mythology. I watched you for years, not as an enemy, as a case study. Because Batman wasn't random. Batman was useful. Every punch redirected anger downward. Every arrest kept questions away from boardrooms. Every trip to Arkham turned testimony into pathology. Arkham was never a hospital. It was an eraser. And you were very good at delivering people to it. Not because you were cruel, because you were efficient. Efficiency is the favorite virtue of broken systems. It looks moral, it feels productive, and it avoids responsibility. That's when I stopped asking how to stop you, and started asking why you were protected, why the police tolerated you, why the media adored you, why corporations quietly adjusted around you instead of opposing you. Batman wasn't a rebellion, he was a service. And services must never be questioned, only maintained. That's when I realized something important. You don't defeat a myth by fighting it. You document it. Violence would have made me a villain. Noise would have made me dismissible. So I chose clarity. I chose to write. Not a manifesto, not a threat. A record. A book about a man who believed his pain made him righteous. A city that mistook control for justice. A system that hid behind a mask so it never had to explain itself. They called me insane for that, because nothing frightens power more than someone who describes it calmly. They put me in Arkham, because words are more dangerous than bombs when they land slowly. And from here, I had the perfect view. I watched the pattern repeat. Same streets, same neighborhoods, same outcomes. Nothing healed, nothing changed. And then, you hesitated. Just for a moment. That pause was everything. Because certainty is the fuel of symbols, and doubt corrodes them from the inside. You started asking the wrong question. Why does this keep happening? That question terrifies Gotham more than crime ever could. Because if crime is inevitable, someone profits. And if someone profits, someone is responsible. You felt the city turn on you before you understood why. Not with hatred, with distance. You became expensive, unpredictable, replaceable. Wayne Enterprises prepared alternatives, cleaner solutions, legal solutions. You were never meant to be permanent. You were meant to be transitional, a bridge. The tragedy is that no one ever planned what came after the bridge, because as long as you existed,
No one had to plan. And now we arrive at the choice. Not a fight, a realization. You can stay Batman. You can harden, streamline, disappear into function. You can become pure maintenance, necessary, respected, empty. Or you can stop. Not publicly, not theatrically, internally. You can admit that your mask protected power, not people. That your wealth could have dismantled systems instead of managing their victims. That your pain did not grant you moral authority. It only gave you motivation. If you step away, Gotham will panic, because without you, there is no excuse left, no distraction, no one to absorb the blame. That's why they will beg you to return. They always do when someone refuses the role assigned to them. And that's why I laugh. Not because it's funny, but because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. I didn't write this book to destroy you. I wrote it so you couldn't hide from yourself anymore. The joke was never on Gotham. It was on the myth. And myths don't die when they're attacked. They die when someone tells the truth, slowly, clearly, and without fear.